not afraid to show, how good he is on the field, and he's a confident player.
From the first time I worked with him, he was doing those things with the ball where it'd be really tight and he got out.
The Football League Young Player of the Year is MK Dons Dele Ali.
Yanni's man of the match tonight. How good is he?
Yeah, he's a very good player.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Footyholics FC here, and we're back for another series called Finding the Next Dele Ali. And of course, we all know that Dele Ali was a MK Dons player, and he moves up to Tottenham Hotspur, and now he's really been killing it in the last 2 seasons. And this series is basically just going to be trying to find another player like Dele Ali. It doesn't necessarily have to be a attacking midfielder. It could be any player really, but we're just trying to follow the same kind of logic that Dele Ali followed, where he went from League One into Tottenham Hotspur. And we kind of have to see how the season goes, because obviously we can't control which club comes in for who or what players, but we're hopefully that we're going to find a player either from MK Dons, or we're going to bring one in through the youth scout, or maybe even buy a young player and play with him with MK Dons. And either this could go one of 2 ways. One, we get a job at a big club and we bring the player with us, or number 2, we move MK Dons, similar to a Road to Glory fashion, up through the leagues into the Premier League, and we will go from there. So if you take a quick look, you can look here at our youth development. We have quite a big objective. If you want, you can go back there and pause it and look and see what exactly we have to do. But the objectives seem quite stern, especially the financial one, where we have to finish with $2.5 million, and we only start with 2.9. So that might be hard to get done, especially since we want to buy some scouts and some new players. But we're going to see how much we can do in the season coming up so far. Now, just as a note, unfortunately, there's no games in this episode. It was getting on quite long after the intro, and then this whole, management part of it that we always got to do at the beginning of a series and a season, really. So, as you see here, we bought 2 scouts, one from England and one from Italy, both 3-star, which I guess is where we're going to have to start for now and go from there. Hopefully, they'll bring us up some talents, and we can go on and find the next Dele Ali. Here we just are training some of our players, just some random players there. And I had a quick look. We need a goalkeeper, centre back, defensive midfielder, centre attacking midfielder, and of course a new striker. That's always a good player to have. Finding the perfect striker is sometimes quite difficult, especially in the lower leagues, because you don't really know, and I'm not really familiar with a lot of the lower league players. I try to be, but I'm not always the best at them. So finding a good striker is going to be difficult, but we're going to try our best, and we're going to see where this can go. Now, in the online friendlies, pre-season friendlies rather, we seem to have beat Tremoso, if I pronounce that correctly, 3-0 in our first game, and following that we have to play the GA Eagles. I'm not even sure what league they're from, but we're going to play them. It looks like hopefully we can bring through this one, and if we progress into the next rounds of this tournament, as you know, we get some prize money from the board, or really I guess from the tournament organizers, as Maynard hits the goal first in the 29th minute, followed by Powell there to make it 2-0 in the 51st minute. And hopefully we can go on and win this, as I was saying, because we get a little bit of prize money, maybe $1 million or so for coming out of the group stages, which doesn't really sound like us, but for a transfer budget of 2.9 million, $1 million is almost a third of that. So we've got to be happy there and take what we can get, really. So again, we're training the youth guys. It looks like we found someone who may be quite decent. Unfortunately, he doesn't have a face in FIFA. I think his name is Kamazi or something like that. I'm gonna get used to the names eventually, trust me guys. Just bear with me for now, as we take on our third and final group stage game against Vercelli, who I believe play in Italy, but don't quote me on that one. So Maynard makes it 1-0 with a penalty on the 13th minute, and shortly after halftime, Brothwick and Powell make it 2 and 3-0 respectively, and unfortunately a consolation goal for Vercelli there. But that did mean that we went through into the next round of the European Cup, I think it's called, something like that. And we're gonna probably get our prize money. I think it was around $1.2 million, but we'll see that a bit later on. But unfortunately here, kind of let the cat out of the bag already, but don't mind. FC20 beats us 2-1 in the, oh look, you can see it there at the top, European International Cup. So they beat us 2-1 and knock us out of the cup, unfortunately. But I'm happy that we got so far, seeing as I kind of just simmed the games and I wasn't really paying attention to who was playing. I was kind of excited to get the season on and look through the players and scout some players and just try and go through them. And some of the good ones I found is this guy Connor Chaplin, who looks to be, he's only 19 years old. He has a high attacking work rate. He's only 63 overall, unfortunately. But that is not too bad with the whole scope of things when you consider the actual team we're playing with. And another guy here is Casey Palmer from Huddersfield, and he seems to be quite good as well. He came through the scouts that I had sent out, and he came up, and he should be a good buy as well. And then the final one that we're going to look at right now is Dele. I am not sure how to pronounce that one. I'm terrible with names, to be honest. But he was the first one that got accepted, as Middlesbrough said, sure, go ahead, you can take him. And it's for a reduced price as well, so I'm really happy with that. And 64 overall, although he's not the best, he won't be our highest rated player, he seems to be quite a good player that we could come in, and he'll probably be able to play in the first team, to be honest. As you see, we're selling one of our players here, Connor Furlong, who's only 59 overall, but he's that will give you an idea of the rating of the squad, although I haven't shown it yet. I'll probably show you that at the beginning of the next episode. As we see here, we lose Andrew on loan there as well. And this guy's a pretty old guy, and at this point I was just selling off as many players as I could in order to get up and make up some money so that we can bring in the players that we actually do want to bring up, as Huddersfield accept to offer there for Casey Palmer. And we're going to offer him a wage budget of 4.8 mil. 4.8 mil, oh god, could you imagine? That would bankrupt us right away. 4.8 thousand a week, I should have said. And hopefully he comes back with us again, as we have to renew our offer for Connor Chaplin there. They wanted $1 million for him, and I'm going to be my cheeky self and only offer 800,000 and hope for the best there. So it looks like Dale Fry is going to be our first signing of this series, and he looks to be a pretty decent one, as we offer Connor Chaplin here a wage budget of 2.5 thousand a week, which is quite a lot cheaper than Casey Palmer, but still should be good. See when he comes in, which he does right now, for our second signing of the series. See when they come in, how well they do. They could possibly be one of the next Dele Allis. We may have found him right away, but of course we would not know that until further down into the series. And because we signed both of those, we have then finished our objective, our youth objective, which was to sign a player who is under 20 years old, but his potential is higher than the player currently in that role. So for example, Chaplin, we had to sign a striker who was below than 20, whose potential is higher than Agard, for example. Anyway guys, as you look through here this scout report, I'm going to finish off the episode here. This is the end of episode 1, and stay tuned for episode 2, which will be coming shortly. and I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.